Hi, 7th grade. This is Miss Dohan here to talk to you today about introductory paragraphs. Before we begin, I want to go over the format of this presentation so you're really clear on when you should be taking notes and when you should just be listening. So first, on this first page, I tell you that you're going to be taking notes on 4 different slides, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And to help you with that, I've included at the very top almost like a page number or the slide number. So this is slide 1, and that's not included on our take notes kind of note, so you won't take notes on slide 1. The next page is slide 2, and you will take notes on that. So right now, why don't you pause and make sure that you have all of the supplies that you need. Your ELA notebook, open to section 1. And why don't you title this piece Introductory Paragraphs, and even write down that you need to take notes on slide 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pause this video when you're ready to move on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about with our introductory paragraphs is that they have a couple of purposes, 4 to be specific. The first purpose of an introductory paragraph is to get your reader interested or engaged in your full essay and topic. After that, the introductory paragraph, it gives your reader the need-to-know info on the topic of your essay. Next, the introductory paragraph directly tells or states what the essay is going to be about. And finally, the introductory paragraph sets the organization for the rest of the essay. So you can see that there's a lot of ranges in the purposes of introductory paragraphs, from getting your reader interested to telling them what the essay is about, even setting the organization and giving need-to-know information. So introductory paragraphs are very important in an essay. Introductory paragraphs have a specific structure. So again, this is slide 3, and you should be taking notes on slide 3. First is the hook, and this matches up with getting the audience really interested. After that, we have the background, and the background's where we give that need-to-know information. And last, we have the thesis, and the thesis, as we've talked about today, is the most important sentence in your essay, and at 1 tells what your essay is going to be about, and at 2 sets the organization. Make sure you get this visual of the structure of your introductory paragraphs in your notes. Next, we're going to talk just about the hook right now. So you'll notice that there's a little note here that says don't take notes on this, which you don't need to because you've already taken notes on this. So right now, just listen to this basic information. You will take notes for the do's and don'ts in a second. So the ultimate purpose of a hook, again, is to get the audience interested. There are 3 main strategies that we teach for a hook. The first is an anecdote, which is telling a short, relevant story that's related to your topic. The second is a question, asking a big picture question, again, that's relevant to your topic. And the third is a quote, in which you state the direct words from an important or noteworthy person that, again, is relevant. So now I do want you to take notes on some of the do's and don'ts for hooks. So you could even title this Hooks, Do's, and Don'ts. Hooks, Do's, and Don'ts. Some do's for hooks. Do, only use one hook strategy. Should just be one of these, and that's it. Do, again, make sure that your hook is really relevant to your topic. It's not just some random person's feelings about anything. Do, if you're going to use the question strategy, do make sure it's what's called a big picture or an open-ended questions. For example, this idea of what does it mean to be a good friend if your topic was about friendship? Many people could have different answers to that question. It's not just a yes or no or just a fact-based question. And last, do use tools to find relevant quotes. You can use a website called brainyquote.com as a way to help you find quotes that relate to the topic of your essay. Okay, on the other hand, we have some do nots when it comes to hooks. Some do nots include using random quotes, questions, or stories. So again, the importance is on being relevant. Next, do not, if you use the question strategy, do not ask fact-based or single answer questions. For example, what's a piece of technology that you enjoy? If someone could answer cell phones, and that's that, you do not have an open-ended question. So right now, make sure that you have the do's and do nots for hooks in your notes. Next, we're going to move on to background. And you don't, again, the same thing, you don't need to take notes on this top part because you already have taken notes on this previously. So the purpose of the background is to link the hook to your thesis, and it explains the topic of your essay. So this is where we give the audience need-to-know information. Some questions that you might use to ask yourself and to help you generate the background is the following. What information does my uninformed audience need to understand about the topic? So in other words, how could I help my audience really understand what I'm going to be talking about? Here's the part that I do want you to take notes on. So, notes about background. 1, your background's probably going to be more than one sentence, and that's okay. 2, the background is where you link or explain your hook and its connection to the topic. So in our essay, the topic is technology, and kind of going beyond that is that technology impacts society, and that impact could be positive or it can be negative. Last, if going back to your hook, if you use the quote strategy, make sure in your background that you identify the speaker. So a sentence starter that you could use is, these words by blank, who is a blank, mean that X, Y, and Z. And on the next slide, you're going to see an example of a hook and a background. So slide 6 has our prompt, so our actual assignment that we're writing about, and a sample hook and background. So I really quickly want to remind you of the prompt. The prompt is, in a well-developed essay, explain how 2 recent technological advancements have had an impact on society. Provide facts, details, and supporting evidence to develop your ideas in the body of your essay. We know that our topic is technological advancements, and that our big idea is that they're having an impact on society. So our hook should somehow connect to this piece, and our background should somehow explain and relate to this piece. Let's look at a sample. So this is a sample hook and background only. The hook will be in purple and the background will be in blue. Technology is supposed to make our lives easier, allowing us to do more things quickly and efficiently. But too often it seems to make things harder, leaving us with 50-button remote controls, digital cameras with hundreds of mysterious features and book-length manuals, and cards with dashboard systems worthy of the space shuttle. These words by James Surowiecki, a journalist for The New Yorker, show that technology can be very helpful, but at times frustrating. In today's technological world, people are constantly surrounded by and using technology. These advancements can both benefit daily life, but they can also have negative impacts on certain aspects of life. ... So, we can see that the author, aka myself, Ms. Dohan, chose to use the quote strategy. So the quote is from a noteworthy person, a journalist, and it relates to our topic of technology. It even uses the word technology in the quote. That's a pretty surefire way to make sure it's going to be relevant. Then the background first identifies the speaker, and it also connects and explains the hook to our topic. It explains the quote, technology can be helpful but frustrating, and that advancements can be helpful or possibly even negative. You can use this example to help you when you're creating your introductory paragraph and ask yourself, do I make sure that in my background I state the person who's saying the quote? Do I make sure that I state the topic and this main idea? The last piece of our introductory paragraph is our thesis, and we talked a lot about thesis statements today in class. A quick review, and you do not need to take notes on this slide at all, is that thesis statements are the full answer to the prompt. It tells what the rest of your essay will be about, and it sets the order of your body paragraphs. You should have, by now, already submitted your thesis on the Google form. But in case you're still having any trouble, sometimes asking a question and rephrasing the prompt into a question can help you create a thesis. And in this case, if we looked at our prompt, we could rewrite this part of the prompt into a question to help us formulate our thesis. We could ask, what 2 pieces of technology have impacted society? So what you're going to be doing with these notes tomorrow is you're going to be generating your introductory paragraph. If you have any questions about introductory paragraphs, please write them down, and we'll start class with any questions about introductory paragraphs before we go into drafting. Have a great day!